The 14th Street Union Square Station is a New York City subway station complex shared by the BMT Broadway line, the BMT Tennessee line and the IT Lexington Avenue line. It is located at the intersection of 4th Avenue and 14th Street underneath Union Square Park in Manhattan. The complex is near the border of several neighborhoods, including the East Village to the southeast, Greenwich Village to the south and southwest, Chelsea to the northwest, and both the Flatiron District and Gramercy Park to the north and northeast. The 14th Street Union Square Station is served by the 4, 6, L, N, and Q trains at all times, the 5 and R trains at all times except late nights, the W train on weekdays, and the 6 train weekdays in the peak direction. The Lexington Avenue line platforms were built for the Interborough Rapid Transit Company. IT is an express station on the city's first subway line, which was approved in 1900. The station opened on the 27th of October 1904, as one of the original 28 stations of the New York City subway. As part of the dual contracts, the Broadway line platforms opened in 1917 and the Tennessee line platform opened in 1924. Several modifications have been made to the stations over the years, and they were combined on the 1st of July, 1948. The complex was renovated in the 1990s and was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2005. The motorman assigned to operate the train, 38-year-old Robert E. Ray, reported to the Woodlawn Terminal on the 4 route to begin his 8-hour shift at 11:30 p.m. on the 27th of August 1991, 15 minutes late. Despite visible signs that should have had Ray disqualified for duty that night, including bloodshot eyes and wearing tennis shoes, the dispatcher at the Woodlawn Terminal that night, Percival Hossack, allowed Ray to go on duty and assigned him a portable radio for use. Ray then took control of a 10-car R62 train, along with conductor David Beerham, departing Woodlawn at 11:38 p.m., 6 minutes late. Among the passengers on board was another conductor, Steve Darden, who had just finished his shift and was riding the train back home. Almost immediately, Ray overran the first stop, Mosholu Parkway, by 5 cars. Then Ray overran the next stop, Bedford Park Boulevard Lehman College, by 1 car. In both instances, Beerham admonished Ray, but did not pull the emergency brake, which would have required a complex restarting procedure and made Ray's condition apparent, or radio the New York City Transit Authority NYCTA.'s command center about Ray's operation, as required by NYCTA regulations. As Ray's operation of the train became more erratic continuing down the line, both Beerham and the off-duty Darden warned him multiple times about his operation, but no one on board pulled the emergency brake to stop the train. During the night of the 27th to the 28th of August 1991, there was construction on the IT Lexington Avenue line that required southbound express trains to switch to the local track. This required the trains to slow down to 10 miles per hour, 16 kilometers per hour before entering a diamond crossover to access a pocket track between the southbound local and express tracks. The pocket track had been part of the original design of the line, and was intended so that trains switching between tracks would not delay local and express trains that were not going through the switch to. At about 12:12 a.m. on the 28th of August 1991, 34 minutes after leaving Woodlawn, Ray's erratic operation of the train finally led to disaster, as the train heading southbound with approximately 216 passengers, going at nearly 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour, too fast for a tripcock to stop the train in time.
And then it happened. The train derailed.
5 passengers died, mostly in the second car, almost immediately, and 161 passengers were seriously injured. 3 several support columns were destroyed, causing the street above to immediately subside by 0.5 inches, 1.3 cm. 5. It was the deadliest subway accident to happen in New York since the Times Square disaster of 1928. 6. Ray stated in an interview, "The last station I saw was 28th Street Station and I remember saying to myself it's kind of hot in here, and then, somehow I just blacked out and then that's when it happened." The first car, 1440, which struck a steel pillar, 3, 5, 7, was cut in half and had its roof sheared off, but its motorman's cab was not damaged. 8. The second, 1439, was folded in half by the barrier between the express and local tracks. 8. Car 1437 was split in half and folded around a support beam, and cars 1436 and 1435 were also seriously damaged. 3, 5, 7. The cars lay tangled between the support beams. 8. The train was damaged so badly that one emergency responder said that he couldn't even tell where one car ended and another began at some points. 8. When Ray regained consciousness, he stated, "I remembered that it was cloudy, smoke all over the place, and I was thinking to myself what the heck happened, and then I thought, oh man, I must have an accident, because the accident occurred within earshot of the Transit Police Command Post in the Union Square station, and within the sight of 2 transit police officers waiting on the platform. 9. Response was rapid. The accident location was very close to the platform, which was used for triage, and field treatment took place at street level. 3. Working conditions at the site were very cramped and hot, and it took until approximately 3:30 a.m. 1, 3, 9, until Darden, the off-duty conductor on board and last remaining injured passenger, was extracted from the train. In total, 121 passengers and 24 emergency responders, who suffered heat-related conditions or minor cuts and bruises, were taken to hospitals. 16 passengers were injured seriously enough to be admitted. 3. Debris was found as far away as 150 feet, 46 m, from the lead car. 8. Ray later said that he had drunk heavily the day before his work shift, because he was depressed that his ex-girlfriend would not let him see their 2 children, and that at the time of the accident he had fallen asleep. 1:8:10. Ray was not hurt in the crash, so he walked into the station and identified himself, then sat on a park bench during the rescue operation. 1. The NYPD later reported that he drank 3 beers after the accident. 8. Ray was arrested at 5:30 a.m. while returning to his apartment building, and when tested approximately 13 hours after the accident, his blood alcohol level was 0.21. 1. The legal level in New York State was 0.10 at the time. 8. The facts that Ray had overshot the first 2 stops in the Bronx and had been warned repeatedly by Byram and Darden to reduce his speed, and had not braked approaching 14th Street Union Square. 11. Were brought up in the ensuing trial. 8. On the 15th of October 1992, a jury acquitted Ray of murder, but found him guilty of 5 counts of second-degree manslaughter. 11, 12. And on the 6th of November he was sentenced to 5 to 15 years in prison plus terms of between 1 and 7 years for assault on 26 of the injured passengers, all to run concurrently. 13. He was released in April 2002. The day after the crash, the MTA announced that it would start randomly checking subway motormen and bus drivers for illegal substances, such as drugs or alcohol. 15. Using figures from another fatal incident the previous year, the MTA estimated that it would have to pay between $5 million and $10 million to accident victims. 16. Service on the Lexington Avenue line resumed 6 days after the accident, on the 3rd of September, after completion of the site investigation and 4 days of round-the-clock debris removal and construction work, including the Labor Day holiday. 17. 18. The 5 R62 subway cars destroyed in the accident, the lead car, 1,440, and 4 of the 5 following cars, 1,435, 1,437, 1,439, and 1,436 were permanently taken out of service and removed from NICTA property. 7. Note 1. In addition to the support columns, 2 sets of track, a 3rd rail, 2 signal sets, 2 switches, and an air compressor room had been destroyed. The switches and tracks were rebuilt, with the NICTA removing the pocket track on which the train had derailed and replacing it with a simple diamond crossover. In addition, the NICTA added diverging grade time signals to force trains to slow down earlier, before crossing between tracks. 5. Reporters at New York Newsday won the 1992 Pulitzer Prize for spot news reporting for their coverage of the accident. 1920. A 1992 study commissioned after the accident by the NICTA found that some signals in the subway system, including several on the Lexington Avenue line, were spaced too closely for a train traveling at maximum speed to have time to stop, confirming the finding of safety investigators immediately after the crash. The issue resurfaced after a rear-end collision on the Williamsburg Bridge in 1995. 4. 21, 22. Ultimately, the accident led to the phasing in of communications-based train control and automated trains on the New York City subway in the 21st century. 2. 23. The National Transportation Safety Board recommended that speed indication systems be installed on subway cars. The NICTA had been testing speed indication systems since 1990. By May 1994, G-unit-type speed indication systems were installed on the R44s and R46s, and ring-type speed indication systems were purchased for installation on 40% of R62s. In May 1994, a $203,064 bid was awarded for the procurement of 132 Doppler radar-type speed indication systems for the R62s, the type of train damaged in the accident. 24C16. In 2015, Robert Ray was critically injured in a hit-and-run accident in the Bronx.
It's been 34 years since the accident, and hopefully we never see another accident on the MBTA ever again.